We are live. Welcome, everybody. Very excited about this one. Welcome to Metal Detecting NYC. Again, thank you guys for your patience with me for my absence. I think you could tell because I think we did like 3 or 4 videos this week, including shorts. You know, I'm back, and I mean, I'm back to stay. That's not the issue. You know, sometimes your family needs you. You guys get that. So thank you for that. But tonight, we are going to talk about Subterrix. And we have my partner, Ryan Marcus, here, who is the founder, the architect, the talented person who put all of this together. We have an absurd amount of data. I think Ryan could tell you a little bit better. He's my co-host with this, and we're going to be doing this for teaching purposes and informing purposes. It's a great tool for the metal detecting community. So, Ryan, welcome, my friend.
Thanks for having me, Merrill. It's good to be with you again. And I just reading a lot of the comments that are coming in. Someone graciously said most of you is back, Merrill. You left about 40 pounds of you in your prior video. You look great.
Wow, thank you. Thank you so much. I hope you can tell I'm feeling good. Man, it was like a transformative time, that's for sure. I really appreciate that comment. Thank you.
Of course, yeah. Yeah, and I'll tell you, it was for everyone that's on live here, Merrill and I went digging today, and it wasn't easy to keep up with him. I'll tell you that much. He would continuously make his way in front, and I was struggling a little bit. It had been my first time out on the beach for a bit, and Merrill, you're in great shape, buddy.
I feel good, and I see we already have 86 people. I don't have my glasses. That's the one thing that is like regressed. The eyes. It looks like a 90 there, and it's between 2 platforms. One's Facebook and one is YouTube. I want to shout out my buddy Keith. New Level Auto is in the house. I see a lot of familiar names. You know, really good to see everybody. I think this is my first live stream in like 2 years, so you know I got to shake off the cobwebs. We're going to have giveaways. We're going to have, you know, all sorts of stuff. Tell you what, Ryan, I'm going to start with the first challenging thing that I'm worried about. And I'm not too worried because if it doesn't work, we just keep talking.
Okay.
But I want to show everybody. I made a specific upload that we're going to upload right now. Let's see if we can get it to work. Come on, Merrill. You could do this. You practiced.
Rip the Band-Aid off, Merrill.
Rip the Band-Aid off. Oh, this looks good. Here we go.
All right.
So this happened today, the day of this live stream, May 25th, 2026. We're doing a Subterrix trip. Now they could. Oh, here we go.
Yep.
Okay, we got to restart that. See, little glitch. You're used to that with me. Here we go. So this happened today, the day of this live stream, May 25th, 2026. We're doing a Subterrix trip. About to embark on a new location. First time digging with Merrill. We'll catch up with you a little bit. It's going to be a great day. Let's go. We got a badass platform. Just saying. Look at what I could do. Notice what I hit here. 1930 overlay. And I chose somewhere in New Jersey. Just clicked on it randomly. But look at what I can do. Oh, I made the whole entire state turn gray. And when you zoom in, like, look at this. This is New Jersey in the 1930s. Give it a second. This is New Jersey in the 1930s. And look at what we can do from here. This is just a random spot. That's my favorite thing. This is today. This is 1930. Let's do it again. That's fun. This is today. That's 1930. That's today. I just have fun with this. I don't need to swipe up constantly on social media. I need to do that. If I see consistency, if I see dirt that was there in the 1930s and dirt that's there today, that's a potential site. Something like this on Explorer really helps you. Like, you see this big, beautiful field, but then you go back in time and you see it was water. You're not going to dig there. You're not going to find history there, at least. And what exactly am I looking for? What exactly am I scouting? Look at this. Present day, you have an open, empty field, maybe overgrown a little bit. Wow, go back to 1924. It's a baseball field. You dig there. Subterrix is groundbreaking and getting better by the day. All right, I'm here with Ryan. We're doing our first Subterrix expedition. With Subterrix, we should be guaranteed treasure every time, right? And we did our research, and we're in an interesting spot for sure. Slippery spot. You know I love flip-flops. And yeah, man, let's see what we get. You know, anytime that you do research on Subterrix, it will help you like crazy. Other people could have beaten you here. And remember, with beach conditions, you know, there could be sand issues. Doesn't look like that's going to be the case here. Let's go. Let's see what we get. I was a little distracted here. Look at this. Look at what this guy just found. You see, you hear my detector beeping?
Yep.
I just realized, okay, great find. This is old.
Yeah.
I'm paired with the coil in my bag. That's why this is beeping. I'm like, what's going on? The coil in my book bag was detecting my book bag.
Do you need me to get it out?
Oh, no. So
Sure.
I'm going to just switch to this.
Oh,
So
cool.
I'm just happy to be here. And when I get happy like this, I'm just like, wait, what coil am I paired to? Okay, let me fix that. Then the detecting started. All right, we got a short. There's a teachable lesson to this, and I will never, ever, ever waste your time. That is a promise. Choppy signal here. Oh, we're going to dig that. So before I get that signal, this could be an IAR site. In other words, big pieces of iron under the soil. IAR is one of the DAS2 functions that helps in iron, but that was the understatement of the year. All right, this is an example of how difficult this setting is. Look at the iron in here. Big pieces of iron. And Ryan just pointed out to me that there is a bottle that has just, glass bottle that has just rusted into the iron. That is what we are dealing with today. I know glass doesn't rust, but what I was saying is that the rust captured the glass bottle. That is amazing.
That's interesting. Wow.
Subterrix sure can find sites. This is a fascinating one. I think that it is a high ceiling site. I don't see a lot of coins. Look. What is that?
Huge skeleton key. I don't know.
Rusted in. It is just like concretion with iron, which is...
Wow. All of these parts are... Look at this. Is it like a bell?
Yeah.
See that? That's part of a...
Rusted in.
Yeah. That's not moving.
No, that's not.
Wow.
Okay. Don't forget that iron is proof of civilization, proof that people were there before you. We had 3 very good detectorists present today, myself, Ryan, and Nick, all from Staten Island History Hunters, Metal Detecting Club. Yes, these were challenging conditions, and this was the first time for all 3 of us on this new site. Beaches can be very fickle. They can be bonanza one day, and they could be horrible the very next, or vice versa. Like I said, I will never waste your time. I don't think that this was one of my best hunts in terms of great finds, but the proof was there that we were on an old site, and in that regard, Subterrix did its job. We all had similar outcomes. I'm going to go through my finds in less than 2 minutes, and go. I mean, not the type of ring that I like, but I thought it was a ring for a second. Oh my God, that was so much fun. This is old. This is messy. Not the soccer player. This is messy. No, it's probably a gasket just like Ryan's. Old copper ship nail. That is old. It's an old bottle cap. Very old bottle. While the sad music is playing, pour some out for your homies. Look, I can't help it. Oh my God, look. This is a surface find, Ryan.
That's like looks like a shoe buckle.
For a giant. you'll get to my end. You'll see why in a minute. Ryan's taller than me. Hold on. Let's see.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Yeah.
That fits. Yeah, look at this. This is going to be... We just got a second one. Wrong type of ring, yo. Oh, man. Another one of these. Okay. Yeah, we'll just call this a meteorite. And then the bullets started to be found. Murder mysteries. Yep, I just solved a murder mystery. Look at that. I just solved another murder mystery. If nothing else, I got an interesting rock out of this. This is pretty cool. Maybe that's like a granola bar? What the hell? Yeah, we got iron plus... Oh, we are on the coin. We are on the coin. Or is it a button? All right, I got something. Again, the theme here is proof of age. This proves that it was a dated site, an older site. Let me speed this up. Bullet, 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 bullet. Whoa, we got a space peanut thingies. I'll help it along again. Bullet, 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 bullet. Screw, bullet, 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 pull tab, bullet, bullet, bullet. Oh, look, it's a square. Bullet, 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 bullet. I got some sea glass, and I did manage to get a super bullet. Oh, we got something good. We got something good. All the smart people, how old is this? Listen, I'm not a gig master. I'm not a bullet historian, okay? Y'all will let me know in the comments. This is definitely older.
Oh, hell yeah. That's a 3-ringer. Sure. Wow.
I like rings. Rings are awesome.
That is very old.
Yeah, this is aged, I would guess 1800s. I know musket balls are before this, but...
For sure, that's 1800s. Yeah.
1800s.
Beautiful.
Okay, there we go. I've built this channel on mercury dimes, honesty, teaching, public parks. I partnered with Ryan. I invested in Subterrix because I believe in it, and I believe the direction that it is going. It brings value right now. One thing I will never do is lie about a site. So we could literally bring New Jersey back to 1930. We could let AI sort through an absurd amount of data. But the bottom line is you have to swing over. I'm sure we will have bonanza days. This was not one of them. It didn't stop me from having fun. And what I like about Subterrix, what I'm proud of, is that we are more informed. We're more equipped. And back to the live stream we go. Oh, crap. That means I got to turn this off. Let's see. Remove. Oh, my God. I did it.
Nicely done.
There we go. So I felt that this was important to preface this. Subterrix is so good at getting you to locations where there is dated history. You have to swing over it to get it. The conditions have to be right. That was a very challenging site. Lots of iron. Beach always gets mixed up. Always. And, iron, we're talking about masking. So we were there, perhaps not on a great day. That's a beach I want to go back to. But again, we did, we had the AI research with it. We had the the aerial research with it. We knew that this site did not change. We did the research on this, but Subterrix, we're not guaranteeing you bonanza. There's no treasure map where X marks the right spot. But I don't think that there's a better resource on the internet for metal detecting, for finding and researching older sites. That's what I'm proud of with Subterrix.
Yeah, Merrill, the whole premise for creating Subterrix was just purely out of frustration, right? As I found myself doing hours and hours of endless research and analytics in advance of going out and metal detecting. And although there are some great clubs like my own, Staten Island History Hunters, that has hundreds and hundreds of links that go to different almanacs and access points, a lot of times when you're looking for something specific from an analytical perspective, many times those links were broken. It led me to nowhere, and it led me to frustration. So I'd spend hours and hours doing the analytics and research in advance. I'd go out and dig for a couple hours, and then I found myself doing additional analytics post metal detecting and trying to figure out what the heck it was that I that I brought up out of the ground. And at the end of the day, this tool is not intended to replace anyone's skill set or time that they have on a beach, in a field, or in the woods. It's intended to complement it. So we're excited to take you through the different tools, almost as a tutorial. It's going to be a lot of information thrown at everyone. We are monitoring the comments, or as I'm going over the site and the different tools. Meryl, feel free to obviously stop and answer questions or ask me to be able to do that. But we're really excited to show you all of the tool sets for Subterrix, including some of the brand new ones that launched less than 24 hours ago, specifically for this live stream. So thanks so much. And Meryl, you obviously control the tempo here.
I'll just say it's really cool collaborating with Ryan, because you get a text at like 1 a.m, like, I got this idea. And just yesterday, the site grew even more. So you talk about somebody who is like aiming to knock it out of the park even further. I think it's already great. I have no doubt it will become greater in time. And, I'm thankful to be working with you on this. I'm also going to try, hopefully I don't mess this up, I'm going to try to give you like full screen. Let's see. I think this will put me there. How do I shift it to you?
Good question.
It's been a minute. Well, that's a little bit better. Okay, let's rock with that. There we go.
Sure. So just a couple things right off the bat to preface everything. First and foremost, what I'd like everyone to understand is that our entire suite of tools through Subterrix is largely free. And what I mean by free is when you sign up for a free account, we have no interest in capturing your credit card. What we do have an interest in is identifying if you're part of a metal detecting club, identifying what type of metal detector you might use. And what happens is when you create a free account, we allocate 20 credits for you to use at your discretion every month. They don't carry over like T-Mobile or AT&T used to do. You get a fresh set of 20 credits each and every month. The way that we deduct from those credits is depending upon what tool you choose to use. There are tools that start off as 1 credit. There are tools that are as expensive as 5 credits, but you, the user, choose what tools you want to deduct from those 20 credits. In addition to that, we're going to be showing you some tools that are completely free that you have unlimited use of, that do not reduce your monthly allocation of 20 credits. So, Meryl, if you wanted me to share my screen here, I'm happy to take over and navigate through the different set of tools. And I think that there's 12 of them that we have set up for today.
Sounds good. I just want to answer a question here. And I'm going to, can you see the questions on the screen?
I can.
Brian?
Yep.
Okay. So Keith, New Level Auto, asked, will it show me public places in North Carolina that are allowed to be detected? We thought of that.
We did think of that. So the answer is yes, and in a number of ways, right? So we have tools like Deep Strike, which use 33 different types of filters, where it's looking for everything from, history, topography, geography, military activity. It's going to do a back-end LiDAR scan and show you the absolute best places to detect within a 10-mile radius of your location. The secret sauce behind the scenes is absolutely amazing. But then straight from there, you can run a property recon report, and it's going to identify who manages and or owns that parcel of land. And it will then identify whether or not metal detecting is permitted and identify if it's through a permit, or whether it's private land, and identify state, federal, local, county. And we also have a permission request letter that is generated by artificial intelligence that gives detail around that entire area and that entire process. So we're going to show that. We're going to show that today.
Quick comment. When do you anticipate the AI being able to recognize old walls of a former structure with only walls left?
We already do that.
Yes.
So we're going to be going through our iLiDAR tool set. And we'll also be going through our Explorer tool, where we actually can compare aerials from as far back as, I think it's 1924 to today. And the artificial intelligence is going to identify differentiation between the two images based on the analysis. So each and every tool is going to likely answer everyone's question here. But yes, the answer is yes, we can do that now, and we are going to show that to you.
I just want to say something really quickly.
Sure.
I see so much. Listen, it's very important to me to acknowledge people in the comments. I'm going to do my best. Just imagine a spinning wheel over my aging head, because I want to say hi to everybody. And I normally can't walk and chew gum. Like, I think StreamYard makes it easy enough for me, but still, the multitasking is a struggle. I just want to say we appreciate you all being here. I'm going to be highlighting questions, so keep asking those questions.
Sure.
Ryan, it's all yours.
Okay. I just want to, so I'm looking at the questions here. I just want to rip out two questions really quick and answer it. So someone asked, is it available through mobile phone? So the answer is yes. There is a web mobile version. I would highly recommend not using it right now. The platform and the code, which we have over 250,000 lines of code running through Subterrix, just to kind of give you guys a general sense. An average website has about 2,000. We have over 250,000. So I would highly recommend that if you are using Subterrix, which is predominantly a pre-metal detecting research and analysis tool, that you do that in advance on a desktop or a laptop. If you don't have one, the third choice probably would be an iPad. But you're going to want to run that on either Chrome or Microsoft Edge. Just make sure your browser is updated. And I saw the comment just before this one, Merrill.
Yep.
We are working on developing an app where we're going to pull 5 or so of the most powerful tools that can be used out in the field and that have a benefit to the field and deliver that. So that build will probably start sometime in August. And as of right now, Subterrix is almost exclusively in North America. We do have it on the architecture and on the drawing board to expand to Canada and to Europe predominantly. Yeah, Europe and Asia are on our map. Okay.
Sounds good.
Awesome. So, Merrill, did you want to expand the screen and
Yep.
let me drive a little bit? Okay. So you should see the homepage here for Subterrix at this juncture.
Yep, I see it.
Oh, okay. So just stop me if for some reason you don't. Okay. But this is, folks, this is just a landing page, and I'm showing this to you for a specific reason. We intentionally make it very clean and very easy because the rest of the platform can get incredibly detailed. I will point out here a number of things. You'll notice the navigation section at the top here. Most of what you folks are going to want to look at is under the tools section. That's what we're going to go through today. Explorer, iLiDAR, Deep Strike, Property Recon, AIdentify, Expedition Planner. We're going to skip Hunt Intelligence. That's coming soon. Care Almanac, SiteWatch. We're going to go through Map Seller, Strata, FieldIQ. And we'll show you a couple of other tools. Right now, we are going to start on our entirely free and free forever solution that we call Explorer. The point here is to deliver a very fast, accurate, and seamless tool that can be almost as a precursor to any of our other tools that exist within Subterrix's tool set. So this is our Explorer tool, and I'm going to point out a number of things. First of all, if you pay attention to the top left-hand portion here, it's simply going to ask you to type in an address or paste latitude, longitude, coordinates. Okay. You'll notice on the right-hand side here, we have layering. So you'll see if I hover over to the right side, there's layering and a ton of tools and toggles for you folks to be able to leverage and utilize with sliders, right? Historical aerials, okay? USDA soil surveys, okay, that pulls in the type of soil. This is national, by the way, so we're able to promulgate that for virtually any area. Okay.
Ryan, if you could just let me say something really
Sure.
quickly. I apologize. So
okay.
the comments, there's a star function that I have to star comments. Your questions, this is the most crucial thing tonight. So Ryan's going to go through a section. He's going to tell me, when he's ready to answer questions, or there's some that I could answer too. So just keep asking questions. I'm going to star those questions, hopefully, so we could get as much answers as possible. Okay.
Yep. After each and every tool demonstration, I will stop and answer a number of questions. And then, of course, Merrill and I will make ourselves available post-live stream to answer any supplemental questions that we might not go to, okay? Or we might not get to here. So there's different layering capabilities here that I just wanted to point out. Now, if I had done a search on the top left-hand portion of the screen right here, what you would have noticed is on the left-hand side, there is an incredibly fun amount of detail here that it analyzes and reports to you in what I'll refer to as a light expedition report. So first and foremost, after searching for an address, and I just used my home address here, right? I typed it in the top left-hand portion as I said earlier. It's going to identify and first assess and provide a score, right? It's always going to be ranked out of 100. That score breakdown is going to be based on historical knowledge, terrain, soil, and historical documentation. So if we add all of those up, it's giving the address that I specifically typed in the browser here, which happens to be my address right here. It's giving it a 90 out of 100. Why is it giving it a 90 out of 100? Because it's identifying different types of detecting intel, identifying that targets are likely going to be colonial coins, 19th century artifacts, religious tokens. It's going to identify the average depth based on my location, okay? It's going to give me some AI insights that it's located in proximity to designated historical sites. So if I zoom out here, you'll notice that all of these points here are different areas that it's pointing out that may be of interest or is of interest from a historical perspective. And what will end up happening is data will end up loading on the bottom half of the browser and provide you with automatic historical information. Just FYI, this happens to be a cemetery here, and you'll notice that there's a warning here saying that it's generally frowned upon or illegal to metal detect in any cemetery or burial ground, okay? But it will provide you, and it takes just a couple seconds to load, it will provide you with detail on virtually any area that has historical information associated with it, okay? And those pieces of information will be shown on the left-hand side here as I'm going through and scrolling from top to bottom. Okay. As I mentioned just a little bit earlier, I'm going to go to my layers tool, right, where I can look at a USGS topograph, right? I believe the last national topograph was from 1982. That's what we have loaded here. This is national. So no matter where you live or how remote it is, it's going to be smooth. It's going to render right away, and it's going to show you different points on the map. Those points clearly are known structures, okay? I can toggle on my historical tool here, okay, as far as the aerial is concerned, and there's two options depending upon where you live. There's either going to be an overlay, which I can simply click on, and it will automatically load, at least for me, based on my location, an overlay from a hot air balloon in 1924, okay? So I can slide the calibration back and forth and look to see if there are any known or any structures that did not exist in 1924 that exists now or vice versa, right? If I go to any type of park, right, I have the ability to toggle between both of them. But what's most important here, right, I can certainly go back to my home location, do another quick scan, and what I'm going to end up doing is I'm going to end up scanning the property as it looks today, and I'm going to compare it to 1924, and the artificial intelligence is going to end up identifying structures that existed back in 24 that no longer exist today, and it's going to give you details as to what the differentiation is between the two of them. So we're just waiting for the report to compile. This usually takes about 30 to 45 seconds, particularly in areas that are high in historical information. Okay, so I'm just going to go here now. I'm going to do the overlay. I'm going to essentially click that I understand that artificial intelligence is not 100% accurate. And what I can do here is I can run what we call a shield scan. That shield scan is going to take this particular point that I'm looking at right here, okay, and it's going to compare it to the overlay from 1924. And what ends up happening is it will then render the differentiation on this property between today and back then and identify structures and open land that existed that no longer exist. And it's going to make suggestions as to what that possibly can be and where it is that you should be looking at. So it usually takes about 45 seconds to promulgate, and then once that takes place, you'll be able to see the two comparative structures. Okay. As we wait for that to come back, we also have national parks and trails toggle. We have administrative boundaries, hiking trails that we can bring in, federal lands, as I said, U.S. soil survey, and that's such a tongue twister, Merrill. Hydrography. Sorry. So it is a tough one. In addition to that, as this is waiting, and it may be taking a while because I've got about 100 windows open on my browser, there are also overlays here, right? So there we go. Okay. So what this is showing in this particular area, right? And there's a number of them. It looks like there's 7 findings, right? So we'll scroll down and we'll identify here, right? So it's saying that there was likely a house and large rectangular building with light-colored roof approximately 40 to 50 feet long, located on the north side of the upper road, appears to be a substantial residential structure with a clear footprint and shadow visible in the 1924 image, right? It's now a residential yard, right? And if I was interested in ever scanning or going to that location, I certainly can by scanning the QR code if it was open and detectable land, scanning that QR code, saving it on a Google map, and then either getting permission to dig that particular area, or depending upon if it's open like a park now, you certainly can do that as well. And what I probably should have done is done the scan at a local park to show the differentiation. But this is identifying in a well-populated area that there are 7 locations based in this proximity that had structures that no longer exist, or where there's new areas that perhaps those structures are now located in someone's yard. Okay. This is an entirely free tool, okay, that anyone can use. There are no limitations. There are no caps, right? This is entirely free for essentially everyone to use at their discretion.
If I could add something to that.
Sure.
The first time that I used it, I was trying to play around with it. And it wasn't until I actually clicked on something that everything else kind of popped in. You have to put an address, or you have to click on something on the map for it to analyze.
Correct. You can just simply hover your mouse over any area, click on it, and it will automatically scan.
Okay, so that was Explorer. We have 14 questions. Tell me when you're ready. If you want to go through some more, we can.
No, I'm ready. We've got tons of tools to go through. So let's answer a few questions about Explorer, and then I'll move on to to the expedition planner. Just to let everyone know, this is our lightest tool, meaning that uses the least amount of technology. We're going to show you other tools that you still have access to that are way more powerful and have way more horsepower under the hood. But let's start with some questions, Merrill.
So this one, it's the second sentence that is the most interesting. Well, I'll read the whole thing. I tried
Sure.
Expedition Planner on my area, gave me several options. How long will that be on my Subterrix page, as I may not get there for a few months? Thanks.
Well, the history isn't going to change. And for anyone that has a free account on Subterrix, any report that you scan, right, or any report that you generate will be and I'm not going to change the page here, will be located in your dashboard for you to go back to and refer back to anytime you like. So you can, for all intents and purposes, do a scan now on Explorer, and then in your recent activity, that analysis and that address will be located to where you can click on it, and it will open the same exact Explorer map that you had whenever it was that you initially did the scan.
The other thing that you could do is it gives you QR codes. When you scan the QR code with your phone, you could also save it to Google Maps. I have several places, like on my phone now, saved to Google Maps that I got through the QR code.
Correct.
All right. So that's one. This is a thank you. Thank you for offering Subterrix Base Camp to veterans. Listen, if you are a veteran, we love you. We appreciate you. And this was inspired by a conversation to our friend who is a veteran. And Ryan
That's
was
right.
the one who was just like, you know what? Let's do this. This is the right. It's a no-brainer. If you're a veteran, sign up. You don't. I'll let you go through the logistics of this, Ryan.
As far as Base Camp is concerned?
Base Camp, yeah. Tell the
So first of all, it's absolutely our pleasure. The amount of sacrifice that veterans have made,
Yep.
both alive and departed, is what allows us to do everything that we do that we love, including metal detecting, and sleeping, putting our head on our pillow at night, and feeling safe. So we were honored to do it. As Merrill said, a friend of ours who's a veteran and does a lot for the the community, was talking about the impact that metal detecting has for those that have PTSD. It is Memorial Day today, so happy Memorial Day. But we were having a conversation with him on Thursday, I believe it was, and I just felt compelled to be able to offer this tool for free for all veterans, whether you're still in active duty or you're retired or are doing something in the private sector right now. You can upload two different forms of identification under the. You just go on the main website and sign up form. Every single veteran that has ever served will, on a monthly basis, rather than getting 20 credits for free per month, they will get 100 credits for free per month, every month, indefinitely. It's the least we can do, and if we don't take care of the folks that protect us here, no one lives a comfortable life. So we were happy to do it, and the response so far has been amazing. I think in just 2 days we had over 50 veterans sign up and upload their identification.
So this is from New Level Auto. Elite says it uses 2 credits for property unlock, but under Go tab it says 5 credits would be used. Is it different because it's a higher plan?
So let me no. So it's not a higher plan. If everyone can see my screen here, we've got 2 different settings here. We've got Pro, which what we're using now, which is the baseline regular Subterrix platform, and we have Go. And what I'm going to actually do is toggle to Go, and that should have changed my screen here. The reason why we have 2 different platforms is the Pro offering can get really overwhelming, intense. There's a lot of data, there's a lot of buttons, there's a lot of toggles. My dad is 75. He's a retired doctor. He doesn't know how to turn on a computer. Nonetheless, as we get into it and look at expedition reports and iLiDAR, where some incredible technology that's going to blow everyone's mind when they see it. It's a little overwhelming. So we created a Go version, and that Go version really simplifies a lot of the noise. It gets rid of most of the difficulties and just provides the baseline. On the Go tool, if you wanted to run a property recon report, which does the which first of all identifies ownership of properties, but it also outlines parcel boundaries, that is 5 credits. And by the way, if there's a bug or something inaccurate, we love when people send us those, because if we don't hear about it, we can't fix it and we can't make the product better. So that no matter how careful we are and how amazing the platform is, bugs end up making their way in all the time, and it's an endless, thankless process of destroying them.
Shout out to Sherlock Tones in the audience. This was answered already. So it's in the what should we call it tab? You just said it. Hold on, I'll get it. The dashboard. That's what I was looking for.
Yep,
So
and it's indefinite. I think it holds up to 15 before they start overwriting each other. But the expedition plan is what we're going to show next, and that's kind of the beginning of where people's jaws, I think, are going to hit their desk. So let's answer one more question, Merrill, and then let's move on, because we've got a lot of tools to show.
Okay, sounds good. Let's see. Can I go? A lot of them are just are praise.
Okay.
Yeah,
that's a good thing.
Go on. I'll keep these, and I will, cut the, I'll go through them also.
Okay.
If your question wasn't answered and you're really passionate about getting it answered, please write it again. Yeah, we're doing our best to manage time and get through the program also. So thanks for the understanding there.
Okay. So we're going to move on to Expedition Planner. You should just see the Expedition Planner landing page here. Okay. There's so I'll refer to Expedition Planner, in my opinion, as the crown jewel of metal detecting. This is where all the power is harnessed when you're doing research and analytics in advance of an actual metal detecting hunt. So as you come to the landing page here, what you're going to notice is just simply an address bar, right? So certainly you can type in a physical address. There are a lot of people here that may be like myself, a woods detectorist, where there is no address, so you can certainly paste the latitude, longitude. You can also click on pick location on map and then zoom into any particular location and click on a pin, okay? Or if you happen to be out in the woods, and I know that I said that I prefer everyone using this on a desktop or a laptop, you can run an expedition report while you're already out on a field, on a farm, in the woods, on the beach. You simply click on this button here from your iPhone. It will ping a satellite, and then it will run an expedition report precisely with the coordinates that you're in. The output isn't going to be nearly as good, though. So there's multiple ways to use or to prompt a search for expedition report. As you're scrolling down, you're going to want to identify what it is that you're specifically hunting for, because that does in fact change the output of what an expedition report delivers to you. Be as specific as possible. Okay. We're not capturing this information, by the way, and I want everyone to know that. We hold ourselves to the highest standards. We know that people are very protective of their locations. We have a double stack where we scramble all of the addresses. We know when someone runs a report, we do not get information on the locations that you're hunting unless there's an issue and you share them with us. So those are scrambled. We do not see them. Okay. You can determine whether or not you want to do a half-day metal detecting hunt, full day, or multi-day, and then you just simply generate a plan. For the sake of time, I've already generated a plan for a local park There are about 30,000 data points that are sent out once you generate a plan, and then it's stitched together. And this is effectively what a expedition report looks like. And I'm going to breeze through this and show you or highlight the different areas that you folks are going to want to look at. Okay. So right off the bat, as we start with an expedition report, okay, first things first is you're going to want to expand the screen here, and you're going to want to understand that the first pin that's dropped in the center of these other pins is your actual location that you search for. In this particular example, I searched for Willowbrook Park, right, which is a local park here in New York, right? But as I click on the other pins, what you'll notice is it's going to bring up and report to you known historical structures, right, that are inferenced and that have data that is within a specific or known radius from the center line of your search, right? So here we have a 19th century religious cemetery. Here we have, and I'm going to show you an example of this, a chimney and hearth from the Corson family. This was a homestead. Here we have a farm colony, which is part of Seaview Hospital now, and it's a historic district. Here we have the stone chimney, right? Here was a modern educational and a historic structure, right? And here is a historic area known as Heartland Village, okay? So there's always going to be between 6 and 8 points of interest that you're going to be given in any metal detecting hunt if there's information there. Our platform is strictly trained to not hallucinate. What does that mean? Artificial intelligence was built to please its master. It has a history of hallucinating and making things up in order to give an answer to its master to please them. We strip all of that out. There is zero hallucination that our platform has. If there's nothing there, although it's disappointing, we're going to let you know. And it's important that you know that, because as Merrill said that he would never waste your time teaching, we never want to waste your time sending you on a wild goose chase and spending time away from family or doing something that you love and having some type of ghost facts driving you to a specific area that has no known historical value. So everything that exists here has zero hallucination on it. In addition to the Explorer tool that we had, any one of these points, as you click on them, is going to end up bringing you directly to the corresponding point, okay? You'll notice here that we can simply click on the screen icon here, and what it will do is it will bring up detail on that particular location. It will give you a QR code. That QR code can then be scanned by your phone. You can save it as the Corson Homestead Stone Chimney, which is an early colonial homestead, so that when you're out in the field, you open up your phone, that'll open up to Google Maps, to your saved locations, and you use your phone as your compass, okay? In addition to that, we also built a comparison then versus now, and we've done that two ways. As a side-by-side slide, okay? Some people prefer it that way, to just go back and forth looking for structures. Some people prefer the overlay, where you can saturate a topo map to a satellite, okay? And then if there is anything that you identify that wasn't already identified by the artificial intelligence, you've got a crosshair here. You can simply click on that. It will formulate a QR code. It will give you the latitude, longitude, just like any other QR code. Scan it with your phone. You go direct to Google Maps, and you use your phone as your compass to navigate to that particular point, okay? You can also expand this page as well if that's something that you wanted to just get a better visual, okay? Here's where the fun happens. We're then scoring this particular location, which is identifying that it's an inland site. The technology is smart enough to be able to recognize inland property from beach. Those are two different expedition reports. It's identifying for me that there are 7 target zones identified by 7 cross-validated terrain and satellite. So there's a ton of data being passed through here on the back end to provide to you what you're about to see. It's going to map out for you the duration of the hunt, the difficulty, the expectation of finds. It's going to suggest the best time depending upon the temperature, the location, the time of year, and the soil condition. It's then going to break down why is this area ranked as 72 by historical proximity and give you a small description, settlement patterns, evidence quality, terrain accessibility. Okay. We're going to just continue to go down. And what you're going to notice here is it's going to give you a line by line or a section by section of the different points of interest, right? Corson Homestead Stone Chimney, right? The Corson Homestead Chimney represents one of Staten Island's earliest European settlements, dating approximately to 1680. So I don't need to read it to you, folks. It's going to give you a back-end LiDAR scan identifying what the ground is telling you, what the detecting potential is, right? And what I find to be most impressive here is that there's access to platforms that we have through LexisNexis and other platforms where there are historical data on things like foundation sizes, building plans, right? Architectural designs. And depending upon what point you're looking at, you are able to bring history back to life. So I can very easily in any one of these points, and for this one, I'm going to do the chimney hearth. I can click on what stood here. What we're doing now is we're tapping into these databases, and the artificial intelligence is going to render a lifelike recreation of what the Corson chimney and hearth looked like between 1680 and 1780. Okay, and it's going to give you a little bit of a description. Now, what's amazing here is that the artificial intelligence has no idea whether or not the structure still exists or is long gone. So to test the theory, as I started to build this tool and kind of the BS meter was beeping pretty high to say, well, even if we had access to the building plans or the structure itself, how can we ever determine if it's accurate? Well, that's simple. And the reason why I'm using this example specifically is that this chimney, which is still in the middle of the woods, is nearly destroyed. Okay. If everyone takes a look at the shape of this, this is what the chimney looks like today, 2026. Okay. So we are able to almost recreate an exact replica of what any structure would look like if we have the data. Okay. That could be a house. That can be a mill. That can be a homestead. That can be a barn, right? It's virtually every single structure that we have here. It could be a campground. It could be a military base. All of that exists here. So, for example, even if I go back and look at the homestead from Corson and I click on generating historical visualization, based on the data that we are able to collect, we are able to get as close to what that structure would actually have looked like back in the day. And you'll notice that even the chimney still is very similar to the one that we just noticed. It just happens to not have the building attached to it anymore. Okay. As we wrap this up, as far as the expedition planner is concerned, what you're also going to get here is historical context, and it's going to give it to you as far back as it can. So 1680 is as far back as that particular park has data on, all the way through the 1700s to the 1800s. It's going to offer a day schedule and suggest different locations on different times of the day based on the soil mineralization. Here is a soil analysis for the park. We are connected to a multitude of platforms. It's going to make suggestions on your detector depending upon which detector you identified when you signed up. We have ingested 15, or we had artificial intelligence ingest 15 of the most powerful and most popular metal detectors. And as you sign up, we are able to help calibrate it based on the soil analysis and the location. And then lastly, it's going to give you other historical nearby points of interest. Okay. This is what an expedition planner looks like. This can be for any beach, any field, any wooded area, any homestead, any place in the United States. And by the way, this costs all of 2 of the 20 credits that you get per month.
So do you want to do, you might need a little breather. That was a lot that we're giving people. Do we want to do a giveaway? By the way, we just hit a pretty significant milestone.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, Merrill, let's by all means, let's do, I don't know, you want to give a free year of membership, elite membership to someone that's online right now?
Sounds good. So let me try to figure this out. Hi, it's Merrill. How's everybody doing? Okay, so this is what you want to do. Oh, how do you do the type thing on screen? You know what? Let's keep it simple. Giveaway. I'm going to do the giveaway tool right now. I haven't done this in 2 years. And we're going to do Subterrix with hashtag Subterrix. So it should look like this. You could feel free to cut and paste. And I'm going to do giveaway tool, start collecting comments, and go.
By the way, the milestone is that with so we hit 500 users about 2 weeks ago, right, Merrill? About 2 weeks ago.
Yep.
And we breezed past 600 pretty quickly, and now I think we're close to 800.
We're over it.
Oh, we are. Okay.
Yep.
We're over it. Excellent.
Yep.
So the platform is growing incredibly fast, and obviously we're grateful for that growth. So
Yeah.
Thanks everyone here and anyone else that may be a user. Thank you for all of your support.
I want to repeat something. There's no credit card information that is taken when you sign up. You get 20 credits per month because we believe in the platform, and we want you to kick it around. We want you to try it. We want you to see if it's something that you like, something that you're comfortable with. So, there's really no negatives to it.
Correct. I can't wait to show iLiDAR.
Yeah.
That's going to be fun.
Okay, so it's saying we got 54 entries so far. I guess I got to hit the draw button. Oh, I think I have to show this on my screen. Oh my God, screen share. Hold on, let me put this in a different place. Because of course I've got a zillion tabs open. Giveaway tool. Okay, so I'm going to hit get your final entries in.
As we're waiting, Merrill, I saw a couple comments as to if people wanted to upgrade to Elite, what does that cost? So you want me to go through that real quick as they're getting their final entries in? Would that be helpful?
And that's perfect because that will give me a chance to do a screen share.
Okay. So as you're doing that, so again, free is 20 credits per month. It's intended to just be a teaser. Some people, the weekend warriors, it's perfectly fine. Elite membership gets you, if you're a monthly Elite subscriber, meaning you pay monthly, we have 2 price points. If you're not part of any metal detecting club, and we highly recommend that you are, we charge $19.99 per month. It's a monthly obligation, not an annual obligation. If you are part of a metal detecting club, say so when you sign up, and that would be $15.99 a month. What everyone needs to know here, though, is we just launched Subterrix clubs. So Subterrix clubs is intended for clubs that hunt together, that have an admin. It's not intended to replace your club's Facebook page or your club's home site. There are a ton of great tools that we have for admins to use above and beyond the tools that they use. but we have some of our technology integrated, including Expedition Planner, into the club's platform. If your club registers as a club on Subterrix, they don't have to necessarily use it, but many do. We drop the price to $8.99 per month. And what's most important is that Merrill and I give 20% of that $8.99 back to your club. So, we try to do everything that we can. So the 3 price points are $8.99, $15.99, or $19.99 for all the same membership. It just depends on how you make your way through the front door.
Are you seeing this?
Yeah, DC Diggin 137.
All right. So
congratulations.
You could reach out to Ryan or to me, and we will take care of that. I guess, let me see. Stop sharing. I'm doing pretty well with the multitasking.
I'm in shock.
Me too.
I thought you would have removed me from the meeting, or
I thought I
played
would
one
too,
of your
not that I
old
wanted to,
videos.
but
No, you're good. You're doing well. Good job.
I mean, there might be smoke coming out of my ears. Okay, so let's do this. Do you want to put? I'm going to put my email address. One of us. Just write one of us. xanjianm@gmail.com. There we go. So you could reach out to me, and we'll take care of that.
Merrill, do you want to just pull up some questions for Expedition Planner so we can move on to iLiDAR, which I think is going to freak some people out because it's just that good.
Yeah. So I was trying to answer questions in the comments. If you see one, you see the starred thing there. I know this is your first time using this platform, but you see when you hover over a comment, can you see the comments, Ryan?
Yep.
When you hover over a comment, you see that there's a star there.
Yep.
Click on.
Oh, there we go. 11. Okay. Yep. I see.
Yep.
I
and
see.
That's the
Okay.
starred tab. So
Cool.
if you see one that you want to put aside, all you got to do is hit that star button.
Perfect. I will answer one that I saw in passing a little bit earlier, and someone said, "Can you do an Expedition Planner to compare it to a house that still exists?" We actually did that. I think it was on Tony and Ken's show, Relic Radio. The bottom line is that there was a house that was built. I did it somewhere in the middle of New Jersey. I just picked a random place, and it was literally identical. So I don't remember what that specific address is, but the structure, the shape of the house was exact. The number of windows on the top floor, on the bottom floor was exact. The chimney stack was exact. So the answer is yes. We just don't have time to do a live expedition plan because we have so many other tools that we'd like to breeze through. By the way, if anyone ever wants, to just be aware that every single person that signs up, I remain available. You're more than welcome to call me, text me. I talk with our users almost every single day, multiple times a day. If there's any tool that you're stuck on and there's not a tutorial for it, we can set up some time. So I don't want anyone to fear that this is too cumbersome or complex. We will allocate the right time and make sure that we take care of you guys. Will this work well in extremely rural Alabama? I wish I can guarantee and say yes, Denise. If there's history there and it's documented, yes. If it's not, then I'm not really sure. What I can say for sure is that I was just on the line with the user. Merrill is a gentleman who makes the knives, right?
Brady.
Brady. Yeah, Brady Epperson, right? Yeah. And Brady is
here. I saw him in the comments.
What's up, he?
Brady? Yeah.
So, hey, Brady, how are you, pal? And I don't mean to use your name here, but what I will say is that Brady was having trouble getting any degree of a good LiDAR around his location, and we tested it live, and it worked beautifully. So the answer is probably, but we're limited to data that exists. So if there is any historical significance, there certainly is coverage. But if there's historical significance, we're going to be able to report on it.
Alabama's got a lot of historical significance. Sure. My advice would be try the platform. You get 20 credits per month to try the different things to grow into it. We're trying to get people used to the platform at this point. And again, no credit card information to sign up. You're just, it's signing up and you get 20 credits per month and you could use any of these tools. And if you
Correct.
like them, you keep coming back. If you don't like them, we understand. You need to try something else.
Yep. All right. You want to move on to iLiDAR,
Yeah,
Merrill? Okay.
absolutely.
All right. So just let me know when you flip the switch.
Yep. Yeah, I'm doing so well with this.
You are. You flip the switch because I can't see it right now. Excellent. Okay. So you should see the LiDAR homepage here. This is one of the most powerful tools. This was actually created, and I know he's online here, by our chief developer, who is a contractor for the Army Corps of Engineering. He's a brilliant individual, and he worked incredibly hard to deliver something to Subterrix users that, quite frankly, does not exist anywhere else. I would even venture to say that it's better than most military applications and most of the archaeological access that some of our friends in the archaeological arena have. So same as Expedition Planner, you can search an address, you can drop a pin, you can type latitude, longitude, or you can use location. For the example purposes here, instead of running one live, I actually ran a LiDAR scan for the very same park that we were just in, and that's Willowbrook Park, okay? And what you're seeing here is really an amalgamation of a number of things. First and foremost, as I hover over just the boxed area here, okay, the LiDAR scan, right, meaning access to the LiDAR product, is free for all users. There are a couple features here that are exclusive for elite members because we do have to deliver additional value. That is the analysis on the left, which I will explain, and the tools on the right. But the qualitative scan of this LiDAR, which I'm going to go into in just a moment, is free. Okay. So right off the bat, what I want to let everyone know, and most people will know this, is that most LiDAR technology that's available to the general public can only get about 25 degrees to surface level, right? That essentially means that anytime you zoom in past a certain point, it gets blotchy, blurry, or it doesn't render, okay? That is not necessarily the case with our LiDAR. If we have the pixels for it, it's going to render cleanly. So this is 20 degrees that we have right now. That is a standard, but you'll notice, and I'm just doing it slow so that you can see it, as we continue to zoom in, it repromulgates and continues to clarify to deliver, in my opinion, the absolute cleanest LiDAR available in the marketplace. Okay, so we can go down natively to about 5 degrees from.
You can hit that cat.
Yeah, well, we don't want to do that, but here's where it gets a little pixelated, which is just fine, right? I'm going to zoom back up because there are a couple of things that I want everyone to notice. First of all, in native LiDAR, any LiDAR tool or any map tool for that matter, when you hold down the left mouse button, you can natively go north, south, right, east, or west. With iLiDAR, one of the tricks and one of the things that we've been able to do that no one else can, and this is the very beginning of what I find absolutely amazing, is we can hold down the right mouse button and we can actually swivel and use LiDAR on a 360 basis. Okay, so that's first and foremost. We can do that zoomed in, we can do that zoomed out. It doesn't make a difference. Okay, it will repromulgate as you continue to go, so it works really fast. Doesn't get stuck. Okay, so that's just one kind of trick that most people don't know. If you don't have a mouse that has a right click button, you can actually go to this bottom corner here with your left mouse button and essentially do the same thing as long as you're holding your mouse button down. Okay, so that's first and foremost. Okay, Second of all, what I want to report here is a couple of our elite functions. So the beautiful part about LiDAR is that it's really cool to look at, right? The bad part about LiDAR is about 99% of people have no idea what they're looking at. We don't expect them to. And quite frankly, with technology today, we have the ability to allow the technology to do a terrain scan for us and report to us different interest points that we feel, or that the technology feels, that you should be focused on. So that is what you're seeing here. This is an elite tool only, and we intended to simplify it to 3 points of interest that the terrain scan is going to render. The first one is identifying, and that's right here, okay, point 1, that there's a mining activity bench, right? There's a low terrace on a slope, possible home site or work area, grid the flat area systematically. This is the most likely activity zone. Similar to the expedition report, we can click on a QR code and it's going to go right to Google Maps. You're going to save it and you're going to be able to navigate your way. Second is Homestead Depression. What do you know? Corson Homestead is in Willowbrook Park. So it's identifying that a homestead exists there, right? Depression detected, possible cellar hole, well, or root cellar. Start at the edges of the depression and work inward, right? And then it'll give you a third point. There's also some advanced analytics here for the people that are a little bit more geeky and want to read a little bit more. We include analytics here, right? We also include an artifact probability heat map. So you see the red bleeded areas or the orange bleeded areas. We're just suggesting, hey, based on the heat map, you may want to check out these areas on a secondary or tertiary basis, because the darker the color, the higher chance of there being an artifact being rendered there. Okay, so that's the left side. There, that is only available for elite members. That will not exist for free members. Just the clarified LiDAR screen will show. Okay. In addition to that, what I think is most impressive about LiDAR, right, is our ability to clarify anything, anywhere we want, right? So if we're going to stay within the boundaries of this park, what we're going to end up doing is looking to the right here, and these 3 tools are also available only to elite users. This button here is our high-res scanner. So if I click on it, you'll notice that it puts crosshairs here, and what we're asking it to do, depending upon where I drop it, is to give us clarity down to 1 degree from the ground and clarify it for us. So once I hit scan, what it's going to do is really zoom in and give us a much clearer view of what the ground looks like, and where we're looking for anomalies, straight lines, and anything else that may exist within any area. We can drag that to virtually any location, hover over that location, click scan, and what it's going to do is it's going to give you some really clear data specific to that area. Okay, and you'll see here that it's less than 0.5 meters from the ground. Okay, there's no tool out there that does that. Okay, in addition to that, what I think is really mind-blowing about iLiDAR is our 3D view. So what we're doing here during the loading phase is we are removing native hillshade from the LiDAR scan. Okay, this is probably the most powerful from a technological tool. What you're seeing here is hillshade removed, and what LiDAR is there's millions of these little tiny dots, right, that make the terrain change, right? And the hillshade is essentially like liquid rubber that goes over it. We are able to zoom in and out, scroll up and down. We are able to give a 360 view of what that looks like. On the bottom right-hand side, we can look at low elevation being blue, working its way to higher elevation, which is red, right? We can scroll in and scroll out as much as we want. I'm going to show you a couple functions. You'll notice here, just like any other LiDAR, what we're looking for is anomalies, right? Clearly, this is a square here. There's some type of foundation that either exists today or used to exist. What you folks will notice as we look here is that there are some parcels, or there are some disruptances above the surface level, right? If anyone takes a guess that that is shrubs or trees, they're right. We can get rid of them by clicking ground only. That will only render the layer of the ground. Okay. We're actually able to reverse image and see what that might look like from underneath. Okay. And what I think is most impressive with LiDAR is if we want to accentuate the details here by changing the point scale and by changing the height scale, we're actually able to take a look at what an accentuated look is when it comes to different elevation points, because that's really what we care most about with LiDAR. So we can really exacerbate it here. We can bring it back to being flat. There's all sorts of buttons and really impressive tools here. But this is the iLiDAR 3D scan. We can go vertically high. We can zoom out. We can zoom in. We can look at it from underneath. But this is for the geeks that really want to play around and identify the best possible areas to metal detect using not just the iLiDAR tool, but the 3D scan as well. Okay. I'm going to just X out of here, okay, because we're not done yet, okay? When Merrill and I were talking to Ken and Tony when we were on Relic Radio, they're in Colorado, and what I wanted to be able to do is demonstrate for both of them what this platform is capable of doing above and beyond what most people know that it's capable of doing. So what I've done is I've dropped a pin close to where they live in Colorado. I've removed the LiDAR function from it, and I've overlaid it with a map. And here is what we are able to do with iLiDAR. So we can go back to LiDAR and look, okay? But look at the attention to detail that we have the ability to show with elevation, with property lines, with detail, right? That virtually no other tool is able to do. And if I wanted to simply go back to LiDAR, I certainly can. I can click off of satellite. I can click off of layer. And there you go. So this is iLiDAR. I believe a LiDAR scan is 2 credits as well. Okay, but we can zoom out and essentially see the entire country. If I wanted to do that topograph as well, I can. I can zoom in and virtually access the entire country and look at it from a 3D perspective. To my knowledge, there's no technology that is capable of doing this. It's so clear, in fact, that we're actually able to look at houses vertically, right? There's different ways of rendering it, but this is an incredible tool that is available to all elite users, and all you're doing are toggling the layer and the satellite on and off. And if we take it off, then we're essentially back to the native LiDAR. Okay. Merrill, I just wanted to show that because I don't think a lot of folks even know that we have those capabilities. That, folks, is our iLiDAR tool in its glory.
And wait till you see the maps.
Oh yeah, we haven't even started with maps yet. So let's take some questions, Merrill?
Yeah, for sure. What I've been doing is I didn't want people getting frustrated and waiting. I've tried to answer the ones that I could. I know you were talking the whole time.
Yep.
Tell you what, if you have, let me put this on. If you have questions for Ryan or myself, by all means, ask them now. Let's take a few minutes. We could do another giveaway if you want, Ryan. Yeah. So
I'm open to anything. Let's give away another year membership, Merrill.
That sounds good. You know what?
All right, let's do it.
I got a good one for you. This is very Oh, wait, hold on. I got to find where I put that tab. Here we go. The giveaway tool. Hold on. You could talk while I use all my brain power on this.
Okay.
Or answer some questions.
I'm just yeah. So I'm gonna look in a second. I just wanted to see what we're coming up with next, and I think we're gonna do FieldIQ. Let's take a look here. I'm a relic hunter. Will this allow me to go back to the 1800s? From Austin Bradley 3411. Austin, we're gonna show you just yesterday. We created Map Seller, where we aggregated, and yes, the data is accurate, over 1 million historic maps across the United States. That's actually an entirely free tool. It shouldn't be, but it is. You have access to over 1 million historical maps that start as far back as the 1500s and obviously goes to modern times. They're incredibly clear. It's absolutely unreal. We will show that to you. But the fact is that yes, you will. How are you getting the blocks with the?
I think I just accidentally kicked him out. Oh my God. That's my fault. He's coming back. Ryan, so sorry, buddy. Ironically, right on cue, Ryan is smart. Here he is.
Oh, I'm just I don't know what happened there.
That was me. Come on. I'm so sorry about that.
That's okay.
But do you? I made it up to you. Look at what I put on the screen. So Ryan,
you know, my mom always said I was smart, but no one else seemed to believe her.
I believe it, man. You did such a great job putting this together. It's such an amazing platform. The first time I saw this, I was sick as a dog. I must have had like 103 fever. He was emailing me, and I was kind of like, I was in the middle of my break from YouTube and stuff. And, you know, there's been a lot that I've had to deal with lately. And yeah, I'm so glad that we got to talk, and I'm so glad to be a part of this. Ryan deserves this. Ryan is smart, is what we're typing in. And yep, so far we got 34 people. Keep going, giving away another membership.
Let's do it.
We want people to try this. You know, it's priced at a point that I think is very accessible. And what I love is like the patronage of this too. Like, for instance, if you are a veteran, we will hook you up. You get it for free. We appreciate you. We love you and we appreciate you.
Yeah, Meryl, let me just add here while the topic is fresh. So above and beyond Basecamp, which provides veterans access to Subterrix for free, where they get 100 credits. It's also important that everyone on this live also is aware. We also just launched G2.
Yes.
Okay. I'm sure a lot of you folks have children, or some have grandchildren. I am probably the most passionate. If I am passionate about anything, it's most passionate about bringing the next level or the next generation of detectorists into this hobby. I wrote an article about 6 months ago, and it's certainly not intended to be any of disrespect, but this industry has a gray-haired problem. If anyone is part of a metal detecting club, there's a high degree of likelihood that, the average age of a member is probably in his late 40s, early 50s. I would venture to say for some, early 60s. The only way that we're going to be able to not just thrive in this industry, but to survive is by bringing that next generation in. And what that means is that any individual, son, daughter, grandkid from the age of 13 to 25, also as a G2 member, they get free access to Subterrix. They get 60 credits per month. If they're between the age of 13 and 17, they will, during sign up, they're going to need to have their parents approve it. It's just a simple email that the parents will get to approve it, but they will have full access to this platform, 60 credits per month, and that's our G2. Both the Basecamp and G2 offerings are on the footer of the Subterrix homepage, but that's our way of contributing to the industry and just giving back and making sure that we get kids that are of the generation of having their hands in their phone access to technology to give them a better experience, because largely outside of the detectors themselves, this industry has largely been in the Stone Ages as far as leveraging technology. And the only way that we're going to bring G2 in is if we put technology in their hands.
Yep. And also clubs. If you're a member of a club, $15.99. If your club joins, as a club, it's $8.99 per member.
Yep. And by the way, to register the club is free.
Yes.
Right. And that club admin gets 100 credits per month to be able to run different reports that we've integrated into their utilizations of tools. So
plus they get revenue from it too.
Correct. 20% we give back for any elite membership at $8.99. We kick 20% back to the club each and every month.
Yep. All right. We're ready to draw.
Let's do it.
Let's see who wins.
OC Beep Digger. Congratulations.
Awesome. Congratulations, OC Beep Digger. So what I'll do is, hold on, stop sharing. And now I have to navigate back to the live stream. You could do it. There we go. We did it. Okay, so I'm going to put my email in. That's taking all my brain power. My parents gave me a lot of letters.
As you're doing this, Merrill, someone wrote when we answered this a little earlier, it's no problem that works outside the U.S. Some of our tools may work outside of the U.S. It's likely going to be LiDAR that may work outside of the U.S., but Subterrix currently at the moment is intended to work in the United States. Our intent is to go to Canada and Europe and Asia in the next 12 months. How does a club register? You simply just go to the Subterrix homepage, and there is a section for clubs, or you can just go to subterrix.com/ and that's / clubs, CLUBS.
Here.
But that should be right on the nav bar is a club section, or just go to subterrix.com / clubs.
Awesome.
Okay. Are we ready to move on?
Yeah, man.
All right. We're just scratching the surface here. We're going to do FieldIQ.
So remember, you got your, I accidentally kicked you out. My bad. So we got to put your screen back on.
All right. Let's try and do this. Make sure I don't break anything. I won't
kick them out again, guys. Sorry.
It's no worries. Let's see.
And thank you for sticking around. Some of you I've seen here since the beginning. We've been at it for 90 minutes now, or almost 90 minutes. So thank you for sticking around. And we're trying to answer questions and move time, but thank you.
Absolutely. So, Merrill, you should be able to see my FieldIQ landing page screen, correct?
Yes.
Okay, and excellent.
I'm just going to, there we go. Now you got full screen.
So this is an incredible tool that we built. It came out of frustration. So one of my favorite detectorists out there, and I don't know if he's on right now. If he is, obviously say hello, is Brass Medic. I learned a lot about setting my first detector, which is an Equinox 900 from Mark. And I found it frustrating that depending upon where I was going, obviously I had to change the settings, and it was very difficult for me to read the entire manual if it was online, and it was confusing, and it was even more frustrating to have to listen to a YouTube for 45 minutes and them not address the issue. So we decided to build FieldIQ. FieldIQ allows you to enter data, and that's what this whole platform lives on, is data. As far as, and right now we've ingested 15 of the most powerful and most popular detectors by tiers. Right, so tier 1, we've got Equinox 900, the Deus 2, Knock the Legend, Garrett AT Pro, and Manicore. Right, you can see the ones below that. The artificial intelligence literally swallowed the entire user manual for each and every one of these machines, right? So there's 15 machines, 31 data layers, and 8 activity types. Okay. What we're able to do in that is you select your machine, right? So in this case, let's go with an XP Deus. You're able to identify, or it's going to ask you, what are you hunting for, right? So best overall, coins and clad jewelry, relics and artifacts, beach and saltwater, iron-infested sites, gold prospecting, and deep seeking. Here we'll select for the example purposes, beach and saltwater, okay? It'll then say, where are you detecting, right? Well, in this particular case, although all of these other options are available, we're going to select beach and wet sand. We're then going to enter our zip code here. And then I'm going to hit use my, or just search, right? Generate my settings. Now, I've done this in advance because this takes about a minute to set. Okay. And what this is going to do is this is going to go through the entire manual letter by letter. It's going to include where you're looking to dig, right? Field, beach, woods. It's going to identify what it is that you're saying that you're looking for. And then it's going to do a deep analysis of the soil. And it's going to customize and calibrate your machine because it knows the manual better than the manufacturer. And what it's going to do is it's going to spit out, and in this particular case, we did an XP Deus 2 beach and saltwater mode, right? It's going to make recommendations. Here's the defaults for each one, right? So usually the default for the Deus is default 1 general. It's going to tell you to change to this setting. It's going to ask you to make changes to the reactivity, to the sensitivity, to the ground balance, the discrimination, so forth and so on, okay? You'll notice here, by the way, that the settings for reactivity, for sensitivity, and for ground balance and silencer is specific to the soil and the zip code that I entered, right? And part of that reason why, and we'll come back here in a second, is we are doing a deep analysis on the soil conditions, right? So you'll see that in just a moment. But once it reports, it's then going to give you step-by-step instructions. Instead of referring back to the manual or going to YouTube, it's going to give you step-by-step instructions as to how you can make those changes to your settings on the fly. Okay? And then what's interesting specifically for the beach settings that we have, right, is that with Merrill, we built this particular tool set. This particular tool for beach settings is actually communicating real time with buoys. So it understands the tidal data, and it's performing the details here based on the specific detector that you have, the specific location, and the specific area in which you're looking to detect. Right? Straight from here, you can send that to your phone, you can share it, you can print it, you can go back to the dashboard and restart it or do whatever it is that you want. But the fact of the matter is that this is one of the most powerful tools that we have, and it's going to help you, if you choose to, calibrate your machine specific to what it is that you're looking to accomplish. Okay? That's FieldIQ, and I think that has a cost of 1 or 2 credits. Right? So you can simply, calibrate your machine for 1 or 2 credits. You'll have 18 or 19 credits left if you're a free member. Questions, Merrill? Or shall we move on?
Debbie's question up, and I was just writing to her in the chat dashboard. If you go to your dashboard, you can see what previously happened.
When you switch between features, it seems to make me re-enter the address every time. Hey, Debbie from American Digger Magazine. Hey, Debbie. I'm not sure which feature you're switching back and forth with, but obviously you're more than welcome to text me. But every search that anyone does will be located in their dashboard.
Yes.
Okay. Any other questions on FieldIQ? Okay. Let's move on. We are going to now do a recon property report. Okay. So This tool was created and happens to be, by the way, the most expensive tool that we have that costs 5 credit per search. There's many times during the years of metal detecting where I've passed a property for 10 years, had no idea who owns that parcel of property, no idea what that parcel of property actually is. I've never seen a person on the property, and I wanted to find out who the owner is, what the parcel looks like, so that I can try to find data and end up sending over a permission request letter. Okay. That is what Property Recon Report does for you. It will also identify to the best of its ability, and we're not lawyers, but we're able to tap into county, state, and federal rules and laws pertaining specific to metal detecting. So all you need to do is essentially enter an address here, right? And for the sake of running the report, what I actually did, for anyone that wants to come visit me, this is my home address, right? 1586 Woodrow Road in Staten Island, New York, right? Once you run the report, it's going to do a number of things for you. First, it's going to identify the type of property, and it's accurate. I live on a multifamily residential property. We own and live in a 2-family house, right? The parcel size is 2,612 square feet. It's owned by Agatha Arante. That's my wife, right? As per the Richmond County is the county that I live in. It's part of New York City, right? It's going to identify then that metal detecting or any activity on property requires explicit written permission from the owner due to New York State trespass laws, and that New York NYC Parks metal detector permit program does not apply to private property, right? What it's going to do then is give you the classification of the land, the property type, the current use, the lot size, the parcel size, the land area, the parcel ID. And part of the reason why I entered my own house is because I want to show you how well we are able to split hairs on the details. So if you see this orange outline here, right, that is actually the parcel of land that we own. We are actually connected to another house, right? And you'll notice that on the right side, it's not notched out, but the left side of that house is, because that is a parcel of property and the boundary that we own. Okay. It will then, again, display all the details within regards to property ownership. It's going to give you a historical timeline if there is one. Our property was built in 2000, so there's no real history there. It's going to give you environmental and soil context. And then it's going to tap into multiple databases and give you the highest degree of confidence in and information on written law, authority mapping, silent law, and risk scoring, identifying that the residential property is owned by Agatha Arante, that this could potentially be a New York State trespass law, which is Penal Code 140.05, and requires explicit property owner permission for entry and activities, including metal detecting on private property. So it's going to outline all of that for you. It's going to then make recommendations. And what I'm really excited about that I built here is a permission request letter.
Yep.
Based on all of the data that we're able to collect and the fact that we are a technology company that has access to data and history, what we are then able to do is save everyone time and qualitatively deliver to you what I believe is going to be the best permission request letter that you've ever seen. So you can pre-populate all of your information. You can identify if you carry liability insurance. If you do, toggle that on. Identify what your experience level is. All of this, by the way, is built into the permission request letter. You can identify whether or not you're willing to share fines, okay, or not. You're able to identify what it is that you're typically looking for, identify to the landowner the date that works best for you, what the preferred time is, and then generate letter. What this will then do is it will do a light historical evaluation of that property and immediate area and build in all of the data, right? And I'm not going to read all this to you all, but I'll give 15, 20 seconds for you to scan it. But what it is identifying is how long you've been detecting. If you're part of a metal detecting club, it will list that out. It'll talk about your passion and love for the hobby. It's going to talk about the actual address and the area's rich past, if there is one, right? It's going to specify that, multi-layout property for older parts of Staten Island, right? But what might be tucked away beneath the surface, right? Hoping that you'd allow me to spend a few hours on your property, right? Here's identifying that you carry liability insurance, that you're willing to share any significant fines, and it includes all your information. You're able to copy this to a clipboard, download a PDF and print it, and then you lick an envelope, you send it out, or you drop it in the mailbox if there is one, and you're good to go.
What I'm really proud about is that this is an opportunity creation platform. Between this, sending out letters, like even this part of the platform, finding out like who the owner is. Just to move this for a second, finding out who the owner of a property is. Look it up. There's apps that are $19.99 per month just to do that, to figure out. So you're walking around to see if you're on somebody's property or not when you're in the woods. I've looked for stuff like that. You get credits. Nobody's taking your credit card information. Like, you can sign up just for a free account if you choose. You have access to this. It's kind of a no-brainer in my opinion, and I'm proud of this. We haven't even gotten to the Airbnb of metal detecting yet either.
No, we haven't.
Goes deep, and this gentleman is the architect. So,
well, buckle up, everyone. We're gonna breeze through the next couple. They're not nearly as in depth, but they are as powerful. So, Merrill, what I'd like to do, and let's just save questions for the end at this juncture, because people on Memorial Day, I appreciate everyone. I mean, I think we have 160 people still on here. I want to get them back to their families, but I do want to show them a number of other tools real quick that I think they're going to be excited about. So I'm just going to move directly on to Map Seller. Yep. We actually launched this tool today. As a matter of fact, this morning, in advance of going out with Merrill, I was playing around with it and making sure that there are no remaining bugs. This is the access that we provide to you through different access points: Library of Congress, New York Public Library, Smithsonian, that has access to about 1 million different types of maps from the 1500s all the way through today. So all you need to do is type in a city, state, town, country, or landmark. For the sake of time, although it's pretty darn instantaneous, I searched Staten Island, New York. As you can see here, for this particular area, there are 25 historical maps for Staten Island, New York that I can immediately have access to, right? Dating back as far as 1775. And the most recent one looks like 1898. Not all of them are maps. Some of them are overlays. Some of them are plans. But we're able to click on any one of them. And what was really important to me, instead of having a pixelated image of it, we built it so no matter how, for most of these, no matter how much you zoom in, it is rendered and crystal clear for you for your viewing pleasure. That is most of what we have access to. So here, look how close we're able to bring that in, and we can just simply look at the different areas within any of these maps. So this goes from the 1500s all the way to modern times. There's just an incredible amount of data that is in here, and we worked really hard to make this available. This is completely free. There's no limitation. You don't have to be an elite member. I don't even think we have a guardrail here if someone was not registered. But, we feel like, people are passionate about detecting. There's a lot of tools that are behind paywalls. It'd be great if you were an elite member, but we wanted to make sure that we were good stewards of the industry, and we continue to give access to any of our tools, but especially the map, specifically for the Map Seller, for free. So this is available. It's live. You can simply go to Tools, and it's on the bottom left-hand corner here. You click on it and enjoy it because it's live, active, and to me, it's absolutely incredible and replaces me going to 50 different sites to get access to different types of maps.
Awesome.
Okay. I guess we'll move on.
Yep.
Okay, we're going to go through a couple post metal detecting things. I'm sure a lot of you that are on the line here, when you detect, if you find a coin or a relic, a lot of times you want to do some research and analytics on it. And I just really struggled personally when I found something. I often found tools like CoinSnap sometimes to be helpful, but the denomination of the coin needed to be US. It needed to be almost crystal clean. I don't think I've ever pulled a coin out of New York or New Jersey soil unless it's silver that was protected from the elements, that was easily identifiable.
Oh,
So
Ryan, I think you're
yeah,
on. Oh, I
yep.
see your
I'm
cursor.
I'm going to in a minute, right? So AIdentify is a tool that takes all of that into consideration. So all you really need to do when you use AIdentify is click on or drop an image or multiple images here. The technology on the back end is absolutely incredible. It will do a much better job looking for corroded, pitted, bare coins and identifying for it. I've already added a coin that was absolutely destroyed. It was actually a friend of mine's. It was a King George III half penny. You'll notice here specifically, this coin is roached. There's almost nothing on this coin at all, with the exception of you can make out GE and a half an O here. Well, the OCR technology that we have is trained with multiple redundancies to identify the best possible match. It will give you a reference match for it, right? That's this coin. It will give you some historical context on that particular area, so you don't have to have crystal clear or clean coins. They can be roached. It'll tell you the rarity of it, the typical condition, conservation. It will add some additional numismatic details on it, right? Here's where we're cataloging it from. And if it's not accurate, we're going to give you the second, third, fourth, and fifth option of what it could be, right? So if it's accurate, you just hit yes, right? Because this, at the end of the day, is an LLM and it gets smarter. It reads your responses and your interactions. If it's inaccurate, it's also going to identify that. And then straight from there, and although today we're not going to have a chance to really go into dashboards, you can save this coin into your dashboard, and I'll just do it for fun. And when you get to your dashboard, all of the images of your coins will actually be loaded up there with that data. So that's AIdentify. It's a tool to help identify coins that are highly pitted, highly corroded, down to the nub, or, essentially the bare metal. And it just does a much better job than most. Okay. Merrill, am I good to move on to Artifact Care Almanac real quick?
Yeah.
Okay. So in addition to coins, I often found myself pulling relics out of the ground and really being interested in identifying what it is, what it was made of, right? What was the metal composition of it? And how do I continue to treat it so that it doesn't continue to dissolve or diminish? So we created the Artifact Care Almanac. So essentially, same as AIdentify, you upload your photos. Here, I actually uploaded a dagger that I found with several of my friends. It's very pitted, it's very corroded. And I wanted to understand what the metal composition was so that I can then treat it to ensure that it doesn't continue to waste away. So the technology will do a number of back-end scans. It's going to identify the metal composition. 9 out of 10 times, it's also going to accurately identify what the artifact is. In this case, it's an iron blade with brass or bronze guard, possibly a knife or small dagger, right? It's going to give you alternatives. And what it's then going to do is offer a condition assessment, right? Patina, surface condition, corrosion, and structural. And you'll notice here the tip of the dagger is missing a corner piece that leads right up to the tip, and it's going to identify that the blade is fragile with significant material loss, right? So all of these are going to be in different areas depending upon what you upload. And then based on that, it's going to give you 3 care tracks. If you want to just stabilize it and keep it in the condition that it's in, well, then that's track A. If you want to clean and preserve it, well, it's going to give you track B with different instructions. And if you're looking to conserve it or hire someone, it's going to give you some steps. And then lastly, it's going to give you some numismatic context if it's a coin or a token, right? And then if you're interested in learning a little bit more about it, you can click on any of these active links, and it's data that we're pulling from, Metal Detecting World or the Smithsonian as far as how to care and preserve artifacts that you're finding for you, metal detecting. But that's Artifact Care Almanac. I think that cost, there you go, 1 credit, right? So if you find something in the woods or metal detecting and you want to identify what it is and how to care for it, that is Artifact Care Almanac. Okay. Merrill, should we go next?
Absolutely.
All right, we're breezing through here. This is the second newest tool that we have here called SiteWatch. I don't remember what we were doing, but Merrill and I were having a conversation about different tools that we would find interesting in building. And I was actually watching, I don't know if it was like Property Brothers or one of those shows. And I thought to myself, what would be really cool if we were able to monitor properties that were scheduled to be demolished and give our users an opportunity to access those properties before the bulldozers come. That's SiteWatch. So what SiteWatch is going to do is you can click on any state you want, okay, or any city, right? You can identify if you want the structure, if the structure was built before a certain time. And for the sake of going fast, I actually selected New York, right? You can look at all cities, right? All boroughs, right? Built before. You can sort from oldest to newest structures, right? Here is a property that is scheduled to be demolished, right? It was built in 1890. The permit was signed off. Usually that's about 30 days. You can click unlock, and what it will do is it will actually show you the structure, right? The file date, the property type, who the owner is in most circumstances, right? You can then run a property recon report, and it will generate a different request permission letter specifically for sites that are scheduled to be demolished. So there's thousands and thousands of properties here that are available in a multitude of states.
Opportunity creation.
Correct. Right? So it's going to tell you what the file date is, the lot size, right? Here's the owner, Henry T. Revel, for this particular property that was built in 1904. The permit was filed. Here are the record details, so you have the permit number, and boom, you can run a property recon report, and then from there, build a permission request letter, again, that is specific and drafted specifically for structures that are intended to be demolished. You then have everything that you need to potentially go dig that site if they give you permission.
Ryan, forgive my ADHD for a second.
Sure.
My buddy Keith is here. Keith is my digging buddy from when he lived in New York. He said he's leaving right now.
Okay.
I just want to quickly tell him, this is off topic. I apologize to the 160 plus people here. My son is going to be studying automotive in college. And Keith is one of the most knowledgeable people about cars. So, I just wanted to tell you that. Miss you up here, brother. Hope you're doing well.
Awesome.
So sorry to take us off on a tangent.
Oh, no worries.
I saw him saying that he was going to leave.
Yeah, no worries. Thanks for joining even for a bit, Keith. I look forward to detecting with you. Yep. All right, Merrill, we just have essentially one tool left that we're going to show today, and that's HuntCast. Actually, two tools, HuntCast, and then we'll do Rent and Detect. Okay. Yep. So HuntCast, before Merrill and I partnered up, Subterrix has been around in beta for about a year. I sent out a study to about 500, or a survey to about 500 users that metal detect, and I asked a very simple question. What is one of the most frustrating parts about metal detecting that you'd like solved for? And by far, and I was actually surprised with the answer, by far, the biggest response is driving an hour or 2 hours to a particular location to find out that the soil condition is swampy or soupy or not good conditions for metal detecting. So I built an app for that, and that is HuntCast. With HuntCast, This is the most comprehensive soil predictor, identifier, and analysis that exists in probably any hobby or industry. All you literally need to do is drop an address. You can click here and drop a pin, right? What ends up happening is it will give you live data on that particular property. So I hunted the same, or I entered the same address as we've been using, which is Willowbrook Park, which is about 10 minutes from my house. Right now, meaning at this moment, it's scoring a 55. The condition is fair, where it's saying that water pools and sits. It may be soggy days after rain, right? Muddy conditions likely, heavy rain, but sandy loam soil drains fast, may be already ready, which helps, right? It will then give you live details on everything from the rainfall, the weekly rainfall, the humidity, the current ground temperature, the visibility, the wind, and the pressure. And that's how it's scoring up to a 55, right? It will then give you details, more details than anyone probably needs on the soil, right? The drainage class, it's poorly drained, the mineralization, soil moisture, soil texture, clay content, right? The digging, the detection intelligence, right? The difficulty and the signal stability, right? The detection window. And then it's going to go off on a tangent about the conditions forecast. Okay. It's going to parcel the land out of the particular area and then identify, hey, the northernmost point or the northwest point of the park is not great. Okay. What you want to focus on is the southernmost point because there's a change in slope, right? It'll give you the elevation intelligence. And then straight from here, if you wanted, you can drop this into your FieldIQ. And based on all of this data, it will calibrate your metal detector directly from this page. Okay. Or you can send it to your phone if you wanted to save it for later. Okay. That is HuntCast. So this is almost like the Weather Channel for metal detecting and the soil conditions anywhere that you're looking to detect live. Okay. And then, Merrill, I'll get to rent and detect, and then we'll wrap up with questions and maybe another giveaway.
That sounds like a plan.
Okay. So, folks, rent and detect is probably our most ambitious project. This is what really started Subterrix. I live in one of the boroughs of New York City. Land is not vast here, and if it is, it's occupied by buildings or houses. It's overdeveloped. There are, thankfully, in the county that I live in Richmond County, there's more parks in Staten Island, New York, than there is in anywhere in New York State. However, how many times can you go to the same park over and over and over and over again without starting to get a little bit of fatigue or become bored? And I thought to myself, if there's a way that I can create a two-sided marketplace, just like Airbnb, where detectorists that don't have access to property or land can come to a platform and then introduce them to or have them engage with landowners that want to monetize their property, right? And do that in a two-sided exchange, just like Airbnb, then why the hell not? So we created Rent and Detect. This is a platform. We keep on pushing back the live date, not to any of our faults, but we're trying to get about the initial 250 properties loaded into this platform. Merrill and I have negotiated largely with a company that's ironically based in the UK that owns the second largest hunting leasing organization here in the US. The average property that we'll add has about 30 acres. Likely it's going to be wooded or a homestead. And this platform is intended to be an exchange. So all we need to do essentially is click into browse properties, right? We've got a sample property here, but once we do it, we'll fill the screen. You'll sort through address, city, state, zip code, right? Here is a typical profile of a property, right? So we'll have some initial pictures. We're going to score it out of 100. That score is going to be determined by a number of factors that we'll talk about in just a few minutes, okay? Discounts, we're going to identify them, right? 15% off for multi-day renters or rentals, 10% off for 3 days or the first 3 renters, 10% off for weekends. We're assessing this as an excellent property, right? Out of 100, it actually ranks a 76. You'll notice that here. Why is this scoring a 73 if our native score is a 76? The reason that is because we have to build logic into it. Every time a property has been hunted before, and you'll notice here it says prior hunt activity, right? One detectorist had hunted this land or essentially rented this land. Every score has a diminishing value, and each time it's rented, it is reduced by 3 points, right? We have to calculate and incorporate logic into everything that we do, because the more it's been hunted, there's a higher degree of likelihood that the less chances there are of finding something more meaningful. But we do give a score breakdown, okay? We do provide what I'll refer to as a light expedition report, okay? And it's just like Airbnb. You can book right away if the landowner has identified that he will accept all bookings. Some bookings may require the landowner to review the booking with you, but this is a fully baked in platform. You book, you get the notification and the confirmation, right? The landowner gets the email and the confirmation. The day before the hunt, it will disclose and identify the parcel of land. We do incorporate property recon in here so you understand what the parcel is, any additional rules to the road, communication, and communication details of the landowner, and you just book and you rent. And that is the whole premise of why we just kept the title simple as Rent and Detect. And again, in the next month or so, we're anticipating the first 250 properties. They will be largely located on the East Coast first, right? We have to, we have to start somewhere. We will be expanding westward as time moves on and as we remove any kinks, which there always will be. But this is a platform that I'm incredibly excited about, specifically Rent and Detect. And that is intended to give you way more access to properties that likely you didn't even know exists. Okay. There are other tools that we have here. We've already been at it for 2 hours now. You're more than welcome to ask questions or, tour the site yourself. But that is as comprehensive, but as expeditious as we can go through the 12 or so tools that we offer through Subterrix.
It's an ambitious project that we have embarked on. That's for sure. I'm honored to be a part of it. What I would recommend for anybody who is just like, oh my God, like, what is this? Just try it. Again, there's no credit card data. It's designed so that you can go and sign up for an account. And if you like it, if you want more credits, you could either choose to add a few more, and it's a very reasonable and accessible price. If you don't want to get an account and you just want to add more to the 20 credits that you get that replenish at the end of each month, or you could get a elite membership. $19.99 is the price for 300 credits. If you're not in a club, if you are in a club, $15.99. If your club is a member, and we have a whole section for clubs on the site, if your club is a member, it's $8.99, and your club will get a kickback to that. I forget if it's 20 or 25%.
It's 20% per subscriber. By the way, no one has to subscribe from the club. You can all be free members, and the club can be a member at the club level for free as well, where everyone gets every member gets 20 credits. If they're signed up, the club will get 100, the admin will get 100. But the minute that you decide, or anyone that decides to upgrade to the elite membership at $8.99, the club gets 20% of that into perpetuity, or as long as you are an elite member.
In fairness, this does what multiple apps do for, easily hundreds of dollars per month. I'm not trying to sound like an infomercial here, but just the property recon that we do, knowing who the owner is. I've seen apps $20 and upwards for that. This gentleman who I'm sharing the screen with, he's put together this amazing resource that it merges AI, it merges all sorts of databases and data, and makes you really a lot more into the knowledge base of like where to go. I think it creates opportunity and it helps you figure out where to go. Most of you perhaps were not here at the beginning. And there'll be a replay on this on my channel, but it doesn't guarantee you treasure, but it gives you the opportunity to do like incredible research where it puts you into the position where you will get those ideal opportunities.
Yeah. Again, it's important that everyone knows that we recognize, first of all, there's no X marks the spot anywhere, right? We can't guarantee anything. What we can guarantee is greater insight for you to make better decisions, to have a possible and more likely better outcome. I've noticed myself, because I keep track of it, and I'm a former baseball player, so stats mean a lot to me. So since I use Subterrix religiously myself, my yield is up about 35% from where it was prior. I actually have a log that I keep, and whether it be coins, relics, artifacts, everything from pocket watches. I just found a walker the other day, a $50, a barber $50. Some of it is luck, although for the most part, our tagline is luck is optional. Put the information in your hands. This will not replace skill. So someone that detects and has been detecting for 20, 30 years that does not love technology, that's okay. Do your thing, right? You're going to continue to be successful. Technology will never replace a skill, but this is intended to put the best access of information in your hands so that you can make the best decision you can as far as what you're doing, when you're doing it, how you're doing it, and where you're doing it. And that is that's pretty powerful. This is only getting smarter, right? Every day there's about 200,000 points of data that's updated in here. And it's a pain in the ass to manage, truth be told. But everyone that uses it seems to love it. Yeah, there's always going to be, naysayers and people that kick the tires and don't use it, and that's fine. We are really proud of what we're putting out there, and at the end of the day, I find it incredibly helpful. Hey, I see someone from P-Town in Cape Cod. I lived in Orleans, so shout out to the Cape. Is, by the way, one of the best places to dig ever is on Cape Cod. So anyway, if there are any questions, certainly happy to do that. Merrill, I think we were supposed to give away another prize.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
I thought of the first two like taglines for it. Could you think of one, Ryan?
First two tagline. Oh, sure. How about I love sushi? That's appropriate for you.
Anybody who's like new here, anytime that I find gold in a video, it's become tradition. You unlock things here. I'm a foodie. So for gold, sushi's my favorite. So you unlock sushi, and I have these silly things that run in my videos. So I love sushi. Let's sushi. That sounds good. Let's do that. Now let me figure out how to.
I think they're doing I love sushi, Merrill.
I love sushi. Okay.
Yeah, that's good. I love sushi. And I do love sushi, and I know you love sushi.
Heck yeah.
Folks, I just want to express my gratitude for you being on as long as you have. I know you're not here for the giveaways. By the way, if you are playing around and somehow you burn through 20 credits, when you sign up for a free account, just email me. I'm happy to, help out any way that I can before you make any type of decision to reach into your pocket. We try and be as gracious as we can. So by all means, create a free account, play around with it. But if you do burn through a couple things or there's an error or whatnot, reach out, and I'm happy to help any way that I can. And I know Merrill shares that same sentiment.
Absolutely. 41 entries so far, 44. Keep it coming. I love sushi. You know you love sushi.
That was a good one, Merrill. I'm surprised I thought of that just kind of off the top of my head.
That was clutch. Hey, I just want to thank my partner in this. He works so hard. You know, and it's been fun. I hope you all know this. Like, I'm really enjoying this. I told Ryan that today when we went hunting. Like, this is fun and this is progressive. I love being progressive. And I love that it creates opportunity. I love that it is mindful of people. For instance, veterans. Veterans are free on our site. It's a no-brainer. If you're a veteran, sign up. If you're under the age of 25, we're trying to get. So many people have said, you know, it's metal detecting is something that you do when you're older. I wish I knew about it when I was younger.
Yeah.
So creating opportunity for that if you're below 25, free.
Yep.
You know, there's so many things. Clubs get a kickback if they join as a club. Again, members don't have to, you know, pay like anything if they want, but you know, to get the elite membership, it's only $8.99. So
Yeah,
we would love to have clubs and members. Yeah,
Merrill, some of these guests are funny. Acapulco Adventure Detector TE9248. I love Chinese food. Well, I think both Merrill and I both also love Chinese food. And then someone else wrote something like I love Haagen-Dazs just as much or something like that.
You guys all have good taste. Acapulco, I read your comment that you got a Rolex today. Congratulations.
Oh, wow. Nice.
That's awesome. All right, 56 entries. Get your last I Love Sushis in.
Yeah, Through the Grit. First of all, thank you for your service. He's a veteran. Maryland says still fighting with the VA. I find that to be incredibly disturbing, and that's precisely why we created base camp. So if you haven't yet, check it out. You can go to subterrix.com and go to the footer, and you'll see a link or a logo with we changed our logo to have camo and or fatigue colors, and sign up. You get 100 credits for free each and every month. So please enjoy it. Tell your buddies about it. You know, we're not capping it ever, so it will always continuously be offered to those that serve. So guys like me and Merrill can do other things like build great tools for you guys to enjoy.
Yep, absolutely. All right, we got 60 entries. All right, last chance. Get your I Love Sushis in if you haven't done so already. 30 entries. And we will draw in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's see who won.
Do it up. What happened?
Steve P. Neil. Neil.
Oh,
Northeastern Illinois. Got
oh,
it.
Nice. Okay, cool.
Awesome.
Oh, I didn't see the switch. Nice. Congratulations. Reach out to Merrill and I, and we'll get you hooked up in the next 24 hours. By the way, someone had let me just go back into the comments. God, there's so many comments. Thank you guys for being so engaged. Someone had said talk about the tutorials. So on the nav bar, I think under more, there is an entire section that you can click on where we have done detailed tutorials, both video and audio, kind of like the way that we did today. Just, you know, no Merrill and no Ryan. It's actually really good. It covers about 8 or 9 of the 12 tools that we currently have. Merrill is gracious enough to start working on tutorials for a lot of the tools that we have. So if you don't find it, you will. It's under the more section, and you can just click on tutorials. You can find it. But Merrill's going to be doing some additional videos helping everyone out understanding how to use each and every tool. So thanks for that. I think that was Mike from my mentor from Staten Island History Hunters. Thanks, Mike.
Hey, Mike.
I wish you could have made it today, man. It was fun. It would have been great.
In.
Yeah. Yeah, we did I'm exhausted.
All right, let's look for some comments and let's call it a day.
All right.
Questions, I mean. Yeah,
Questions.
If anybody has a question, just put it in.
Let's see here. Wow, a lot. You guys are so kind. There's so many nice compliments.
It's a great community.
Yeah. Wow. I wish I can answer all of these questions.
Yep.
Let's see. Anybody else have any pressing questions? Let's see here. Will this work well? Oh, I thought these are starred. Let me get out of and look live. Let's see. Will places like the Ohio? Oh, it just disappeared.
It moved up one. Yeah.
Did it? Will places like Ohio be there? Like, are you referring, Chris, to Rent and Detect? If so, just comment. Let's see here. Great show. One of the veterans asked, let's see, I'm a veteran. What type of proof do you need when you sign up? When you go to Basecamp, it actually shows you what proof that's needed for, I think what is needed is either the DD-214 or the VA ID. There you go. Yep. And thank you for your service, Surfside Dan. We have a decent amount of veterans on it already, and we're honored to offer you Subterrix for that.
Absolutely. I just put the link in the comment. I don't know if it you might have to cut and paste. I'm not seeing this on like YouTube.
Okay. Yeah, it's just subterrix.com/Basecamp.
You getting it going in Canada, Ryan? We're working on it. Yep.
Trying. We're trying to perfect the US. I think from a tools perspective, we're probably going to slow things down. We've just been coding nonstop and releasing all of these tools. I think between SiteWatch and MapSeller, that's probably going to round it out for a bit. Now it's time to kind of look ahead, launch Rent and Detect officially, and then start looking at areas like Canada, Europe, and Asia. So we are working on it. As you can imagine, with over 250,000 lines of code, with over 400 APIs that we're connecting to, it's tedious to do all of this work. We're going to need a fresh of breath air, and I'm going to need to pound about 1,000 Red Bulls before we begin the project, Merrill.
I caught him on this. He just said, we have been coding. That's a very gracious statement. Very gracious.
Well, they don't need to know behind the scenes. For all intents and purposes, you can be coding with me.
I'm an honest person, man. I appreciate you. And you started to show me a little bit of it, and I'm committed. I really am. But it's like Keanu Reeves, Neo seeing the Matrix for the first time and the green falling numbers. I'm like, what the heck is that?
Someone commented, or the Bandit 1977, I signed up as a veteran and it was very easy. Happy that you did. Enjoy the platform. Again, if anybody has any questions that you don't get to today, or if it's as you're playing with the platform, we do have in the navigation bar a feature request where you can submit questions that we monitor all the time. In the welcome email, when you sign up for a free account, you'll have my email address. I personally answer almost every single email, probably within hours. We don't mind the constructive criticism, right? If you see something that's not working well, or that you don't like, or that you're challenging in the data, it's very possible a bug might have creeped its way in. We do everything we can to snipe that bug out pretty quickly. Yeah, feel free to email us. And yes, I would consider offering firefighters and police officers access. Hell yeah. That's actually amazing. All I'm going to ask Dennis, who asked that question, all I'm going to ask is that you give some time for us to ingest all of the veterans and the youngins, right, 13 through 25, and that certainly will be the next batch of very brave and very important public servants that we will honor by offering a similar benefit of using Subterrix. Absolutely. So, what else, Merrill? I think we're about out of time here. No.
Yeah, I think that's good. I think everybody, it's a family day, and yeah, thank you, Brian, for staying on as long as he did. Thank you to the audience for hanging out with us. Trying the platform, we had a lot of people go to it. I peaked, and we had about at the peak of this live stream, we had 54 people online on our site.
Oh wow!
And yeah, so
I'm glad it didn't break.
Yeah, kick it around and give it a try. That's the best way to get to know this. It's really not overwhelming. It's quite user friendly, but yes, there is a lot to it. But you kind of want it to be a lot to it, so it's something that you could grow into and continue to grow with. And
yeah,
I like it that way.
Sorry, Merrill. The last thing that I'll say is, guys, the growth has been absolutely amazing. We can't do it all on our own, so I'm going to call upon everyone here. If you like what you saw, and you like what you play with on the website, we're going to humbly ask that you help us spread the word. The more that we're able to grow, the quicker we're going to be able to get an app out, right? There are kind of minimum targets that we have to hit in order to justify spending the kind of money that it takes to build an app of that magnitude. There's going to be additional collaborative things that you're going to see coming out from us. We're working really hard to keep the price points down, despite putting our hands in our pocket to make it available at the price points that we do by giving a bunch of stuff away. So please, if you find something using Subterrix, tag us. If you have a friend that likes to metal detect and you think they might be interested or a family member, by all means. If you have a veteran, a cousin, aunt, uncle, brother, sister, if you know a veteran, send them our way. Same thing if you have kids or grandkids and they're interested, sign them up for a G2 account. Again, the veteran stuff and the G2 stuff is on the footer. We can use all the help that we can get, and that's what really re-energizes us to continue to build and continue to make the best product available. So grateful for the time, and anything that we can do, we're just an email or a phone call away. But grateful for everyone joining today.
Absolutely. All right, everybody, we will do it again. I'll be reading your comments when we post this. So just let me know if you have more questions, and we will do our best to answer them. But thank you for hanging out with us, and everybody have a good night, and we will see you very soon.
Thanks, everybody. Merrill, thank you for having us, or thank you for having me.
It's my pleasure. It's a lot of fun. All right, everybody.
Have a good day, everybody. Thank you.